passing looked pretty poopy tonight. Coby
Oh
White, our point guard.
Oh my God.
Point guard Coby White.
Needs to slow down. The biggest takeaway I'm taking from him, and I've noticed this the past like couple seasons, or I guess he was a rookie last year, but he just needs to slow down. He seems like he knows what he wants to do before the play is even kind of progressed. He puts his head down, he goes straight to the rim. He ends up stuck in the air and he either turns it over or he throws up a Hail Mary weird shot and sometimes it goes in, but he's just too inconsistent and he seems to be out of control. He needs to kind of play with more pace because I think it's really hurting his game in the long run.
I completely agree.
Yeah, super.
You nailed it.
Yeah, I want to see more scoring. He's more comfortable when he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna go put the ball in the basket. That's when he's comfortable. That's when we saw him at his best. I don't want to compare him to Mitch because it's not good. But you know how Mitch is better when he's not thinking, when he's just reacting and he's just going about it and he's not calling plays and audibles. Coby White is kind of just like that. He's just being who he is and scoring. He's way better.
And he lets it affect other parts of his game. I think if he makes a few mistakes as far as passing goes or just like makes turnovers, just does things that are not working well for the team, he ends up letting it affect like his jump shot and it all kind of screws up his confidence and it just ends up being a total catastrophe, which is what I think we saw in this game. I think he was like 1 for 8 early on and it just went downhill from there. So I don't know. He's young. I think he'll get better, but right now it's tough to watch, man.
What is it about North Carolina products? What is it about him? I don't know. Him and Mitch.
It's brutal,
dude. Even so, we got it one time in the final game of last season before COVID shut it down. But hearing the new Bulls PA guy Tim Sinclair calling out Coby from North Carolina in those starting lineups, man, I don't know about y'all, but I got a little goosebumpy on that.
A little bit, man.
And did you notice how he doesn't say, like, he'll say a finish forward? Like, he doesn't say from somewhere for everyone. I know. I was like, he didn't say from Finland. He said a finish forward. And I was like, I like this guy. Live your truth. I like what you're doing. Like, make it your own. Patrick Williams to me. Oh, yes.
Evan, are you on the let everybody go train? Because it's kind of like the train that's pulling into the station right now.
Man, prior to this game, I was kind of interested to see where, and it's only one game, right? I mean, I don't want to lose my shit. I know, John, I saw you react to that one preseason game. You lost shit after that one game.
And I was right. We're down 40. We're down 42. I'm right.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone said I was crazy.
Yeah. Season's over.
Oh, good. We're just down, but I was right.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't wrong. I think we need to kind of. It's still early, so I'm trying to be positive. But at the end of the day, I haven't seen anything from this team that says there's anyone that we really need to keep. I really like Pat Will. I think he is no doubt has the brightest future from what I've seen. It's good to see Lauri has knocked down some shots. I still am on the fence about him. I think he's definitely has a nice upside, but I think we've seen what Lauri can do. I don't think there's much else that he's going to prove. I think we know who he is as a player personally. I don't think his jump shot's all that great. I think he's going to be consistently inconsistent his entire career. And that's kind of where I'm at this point. I think that's what he's proven. However, based on what all these other players are getting paid, I think, he's probably expecting like maybe 15 to 20 mil. And I think it's fair when you look at the guys that got paid, like Jonathan Isaac just got 80 million. Yeah. Did you guys see that?
Sure did.
Luke Kennard.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he's probably worth the money he's asking, but I don't know if it's worth it for the Bulls. Like, I don't know if that I would want to invest that money in him. I think you can invest that in somebody else that's going to be more consistent. So I think Pat Will is the only guy you really need to keep. I'm totally cool trading anybody else on this team, to be quite honest. Even Zach, Coby, any of them. I trust DK.
Yeah. That's
all right. Well, so if there's one thing you want to see in the bounce back game, or at least an effort of bouncing back against Indy on the 26th, Evan, who is it? Who needs to have a much better game than they had tonight?
Oh man, I'd like to see Wendell Carter Jr. do something. One, because I want to see them. I hope they can trade him. And right now, he is not going to be a tradable player. I mean, he looks like shit. He gets the ball at the top of the key. He's so hesitant. He instantly gets the ball and freaks out. He turns over the ball like he's setting bad screens if he doesn't have the ball. I think he got called for a screen foul. And then he's just, I don't know, he's just a mess. He doesn't want to shoot the three, and then he commits to shooting the three, and he misses a ton. I think he's 1 for 18 on the season now. So, I mean, I would say Wendell Carter Jr. The other guy I want to see do better is probably Billy Donovan. I think
yes.
I think Billy Donovan.
Wow!
Look,
Wow! Shots
I think Billy Donovan has something to prove after this game. I don't know how much of this falls on the players. You know, I think Billy Donovan needs to come up with a better game plan. So, you know, him too.
I mean, like you're blaming the head chef on his first night running a restaurant when the kitchen he inherited was nothing but like moldy spinach and rice.
That's fair. The ingredients.
Sure. But if this is chopped, you still got to make it work.
Yes. I agree. Man. I agree. So,
hey man,
right.
Evan, before you go, I want to give you a chance to give a shout out, man. We're gonna give everybody who get on here a chance to give a shout out, bro. So give us your shout out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, shout out to you guys. You guys definitely keep my motor going, man, when it comes to this Bulls team. But definitely follow me. Anybody that's in here, please follow me. I just started my podcast. It's called Double Overtime Podcast. You can get it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Great name.
And it's Double Bull. It's DABULL. So double, like doubles. So Double Overtime. So yeah, thank you guys again for having me on here. I'm definitely going to join here again because you guys are the smartest people that I know when it comes to Chicago Bulls basketball. And I look forward to connecting with you guys again.
Thanks a lot.
Well, I'm not sure smart is the proper adjective, but that is very kind of you to say. And it was awesome having you on, man. Come join us again sometime soon. Everybody check out Evan's podcast, Double Overtime. Evan, have a great night, man. Enjoy the holidays. See you again soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
My man. Who's next?
He's right, man.
Right.
Everything you said was right.
It was.
Else waiting in the wings. We've got Ben on deck.
Ben!
Yeah.
Come on in, Ben.
And here we go. Let's get Ben in here. Get some of his thoughts on this clusterfuck we got going on tonight.
I love that
I mean,
word.
this is a dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. Yeah. All of it.
Harry Truman, Doris Day, Johnny Ray. And so
dumpster fire.
Shout out to Evan. Everything Evan said, I completely agree with, and I actually love that he said, "I don't think this is Billy Donovan's fault. I think this is what we're seeing as a Garpax thing. We love the guy. The guy we love the most is the one guy who AK picked."
Hey, yo, that's it.
Ben, I think you got to hit a button to officially join us. I gave you the welcome. You might have to click join on your end.
Yeah, click join, Ben.
And thank you for your page. We're new to computers.
It's a new feature.
I just got a computer.
Yeah. Congratulations, by the way. Hey, there he is.
Give it up for Ben.
Here we are.
Ben. Hey.
Benny the Bull. Benny the Bull.
Benny the Bull.
I feel like that guy from Talladega Nights. What do I do?
I don't know what to do. Do what John's doing. Yes, be double fisted. That's how you feel.
That's what Jack Donaghy does.
Thanks for coming on.
What
man.
is this fucker?
Tell us how you feel, man. Tell them how you feel.
Man, this helps me. Give me what is Ben's takeaway of this game?
So
good or bad?
To shed light on this, I think a lot of it is fixable.
Okay.
I love this. Yes.
Fixable how?
I don't think Coby's going to shoot like this every night.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that.
I don't disagree.
The defense is obviously at an all-time fucking low. It get worse.
It's so bad. We really miss Chris Dunn.
Yes, John. How bad do you miss Chris Dunn now?
Not at all.
I'm still not sure what to do with my hands here.
I mean, but I do like it is fixable.
Day, Matt. You're great.
Oh man!
Shout out
Lockdown.
I do think it's fixable. Though.
I hope you're also listening to BAWL on Bulls whenever they drop new episodes. Big Dave, didn't we just have our boy Kendall on the on your most recent episode?
Yes, we had Kendall Gill on. It was
also
awesome.
Too, I want to say that a lot of people are. I think it's
Okay.
I agree. I'm inclined to agree.
Tell me more about your beard. The beard gang thing is happening. I'm feeling this. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah. Anyways, that's what I got. I think, especially with the Hawks team, when they get their pieces back healthy, hey, I can't believe we let Dunn walk. It would have been nice to have tonight. I know how
I love it.
Man.
I love it. I love it.
There it is.
Okay. You're drinking a Busch Light. You drinking a Busch Light?
Oh yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey,
come on.
That's how us guys from Iowa come out of the corn, man. We come out of the corn with Busch Light brands.
That's so I've heard. Those Iowa folk, all about that Busch.
Good job, man.
Iowa's God's country. I was the greatest.
I was great. I had a good
My whole family's from Iowa. I love it. It's not heaven. It's Iowa. They get the job done. The Quad Cities is Shangri-La. I love it.
You just say that because Seth Rollins
tonight. He looked good.
He did.
Patrick Williams is the bright spot.
Yeah.
He's the only untouchable player we have. I think he's really good. I mean, he just he took a three, he missed it in the first quarter right at the beginning, and then he was like, I'm just going to drive it. I'm bigger and stronger than everyone. I was like, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. He might be one of these freak athletes that can just get to the court, get to the place on the court he wants to go to.
Yeah.
And we don't have anyone like that.
No, we don't.
And that's huge.
Yeah. It's big.
But you have Wendell pivoting like a sprinkler the whole time. I said you could pivot.
He knows where he wants to go with it. He doesn't. He's not rushed.
Patrick Williams feels like he's not. This is not his first NBA game.
Yeah, agreed. And
I think that's.
I want to have hope for him, man. I want to have hope for him. He's hard to watch.
He gone.
He got to go.
You should hear some of the things John says about Wendell behind closed internet doors.
Yeah, I feel
like the floodgates are about to burst any second now. One more bad night from Wendell, and John's going to fucking lose.
He don't need no more bad nights.
He is the trickle-down economics of basketball. Like, people keep telling me he's good without any sort of evidence, and I can't handle it anymore. Yeah, it's like, no, it works.
I swear. I'm with you.
I want it to work.
Yeah, right.
I would love for it to work.
Yeah.
He can't rebound.
Another bright spot to me, I said the Pat is the only bright spot. I think that Lauri plays like he needs a paycheck.
Yes.
I agree.
Somebody in the comment thread suggested that perhaps everybody else was playing like crap tonight because they're trying to help their boy Lauri get that contract and make him look good by comparison.
All the conspiracy theories are starting early, baby. I love it. It's that time.
All right, guys.
God.
We have 27 seconds left.
All right.
Let's soak it in.
Guys, the good news is that we were down by 40 at one point. And we're only going to lose by 20.
Yay.
We cut the deficit in half.
Huh?
We just ran out of time. We were going to come back. We just ran out of time.
Yeah, man. Oh, man.
So here we go.
All right.
Good first game, Bulls. Good first game. Ben.
Yikes.
Ben, I love your optimism. It's fixable.
Gotta see the holiday
It's fixable.
train.
I love this.
Yes.
It's fixable.
Yes. We appreciate it, man.
What's your prediction for the Pacers? Coming out with the energy?
We'll probably lose. I don't know how we're going to beat them if we lost.
What about you, Ben? You think you get a bounce back victory?
How about that new city?
Ooh, I love that.
I dig it.
I almost got that.
I love
it wasn't
that.
in my side. I
love that.
So I didn't get the fitted joint like I wanted. But
I think they'll come out with a little bit more of a fire under their ass.
I think so too.
I hope so.
I'm not optimistic about victory, but I think it'll be a little bit better. Like I said, it can't get much worse than it did tonight.
It truly can. And Ben, you helped me feel better. Thank you. It's fixable. It can't get worse. I needed to hear this. This is
hey, look at that, baby.
Congratulations.
You got to start them young. You got to start those Bulls fans young.
Wow,
all right. Well, we're going to get rolling with our post game here. Ben, thank you so much for hanging with us. Appreciate it. Enjoy your holidays, man. And we'll see you again.
Congratulations on the newborn.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
He gave his shout out when he showed the baby. That's the shout out right there. I like
mm-hmm.
That's the shout out. Look at what I made. All right, everybody. Welcome in to our post-game show. This is the Stretch 4 with the Bulls Outcasts. I'm Matt Peck. That's John Sabine. That's Big Dave Watson. Well, did we all think that that's how the season opener was going to go?
Things got out of hand.
I thought it was going to be a loss. I honestly did. There's a lot being changed by Billy Donovan in these systems right now. This is still a young team. This is still not a very talented team. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. John, what about you?
Things really escalated, huh? Brick killed a guy. That's how I felt when I was watching the second quarter. Because if I'm being honest, the first quarter, I was not watching the score. I was just like focused on the players. Like again, and I was like, we're doing okay. And I looked up and it was like 22-9 or something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh wait, when did that happen? Because I was like watching it too closely. And then during the second quarter, my wife came home from work and she was like, "How'd the Bulls do?" And I go, "Look at it." And she goes, "Oh my God, they're worse than they were." And I think it's tough when there's not a boogeyman to put our blame on. Mm-hmm. We always had a scapegoat of Boylan or Garpax. Mm-hmm. And we always wanted to, they were being held back. Like these were birds that were caged, let them be free. And I do think we kind of have to like realize what we have. And that's a 20-point loss is bad. We were down 40. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like worse than bad.
Right. And as Burke just threw into our chat, he said it's on the players now. Mm. I mean, it is on Donovan to do what he can to improve these players as individuals and try to get the best out of them as a collective unit. But the excuse of like you said, John, the boogeymen are gone out. So you got to figure out some other way to face yourself in the mirror after performance like this. Dave, your initial reaction.
Just to add on to that point, that's why I liked this season so much, because what you just said, all the excuses are removed. Everything is on them now. And I love that about it. That's why we talked about Lauri and Wendell Carter Jr. and these other guys. Everything is on them now. So whatever we thought that it was the problem, we removed that. So now it's on you. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? So let's see what you got. And nobody came out and did their thing. But my initial reaction to the game was, honestly, I'm not off the ledge. I'm not insane about me. I'm not happy. You know what I mean? They lost by 40. They were down by 40 in the third quarter, for God's sakes. Who's happy about that? But
Dave, we held them to 13 in the fourth.
I would say, but it got up to a point where I was like, dude, Atlanta's not missing anything. And I mean, every shot they threw up was going in. At one point, they were 11 of 22 from three. They were shooting dang near 70% from the field. Okay, like it was insane, like the shots that they were making and the things they were doing. Now, if Atlanta hits all those shots all the time, they're gonna win the finals. Period. But
against defense like that, they will.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, the defense wasn't great, but some of those shots were insane. Like some of those shots they were making, it was like, dude, that's just nasty. Like, what are you gonna do with those Trae Young step backs? There's nothing you can do with that. When Gallinari's coming in, and I mean, he just wouldn't miss with guys in his face. He wouldn't miss. Dude, who was that render? Who's the white boy that came in and went on an 8-0 run by himself? Oh my God. He came with
Kevin Huerter.
Dude, he went in
Kevin Huerter.
Crazy out there. He could play, but he was cooking at first, man. But again, you're right. The defense was bad. The defense was not good from the start. It was bad. Yeah. Watching Wendell Carter Jr. do that stuff from the start was not good.
And I think, Dave, you had that point of they started out so hot. Atlanta did. Some of it was just bad perimeter defense, which, to his credit, was the first glaring thing that Will noticed when we were talking with Purdue and watching these preseason games. He's like, perimeter defense, bad. Alarm bells, bad. They started 11 for 22 behind the arc, like you said. They finished 14 for 35. So they only made 3 of their final 13 attempts, but damage done. And the compounding problem to me that was really bad and really glaring is that while the Bulls were struggling so mightily defensively in the first quarter, in the first half, they were also coughing up the ball with all of these unforced turnovers. And it's like, you can't have both of those things. You can't play like shit on defense and give the Atlanta Hawks 30 points off of your turnovers, because that's the result. What we saw tonight is the result. If you play like shit on defense and you cough up the ball.
And I believe –
I completely agree.
Yeah. And I believe, like, in the first – because the game was over. The game – I'm not even concerned about what's happening late in the third or in the fourth. Like, so that's why some of those numbers are skewed, like the final score and things like that. And like you said, the three-point shooting of finishing like they did, that stuff was skewed. But I believe they had, 8 turnovers going into the third quarter or something like that, or something putrid like that. And, I mean, it was just bad. The passing was bad. The spacing was – we didn't see it. We were seeing kind of some of that in the preseason. They didn't have that tonight at all. Everybody was in everybody's way. And it was only when Zach LaVine went and decided to go do what he wanted to do that, it looked like something. But that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be space and ball movement. That's the things we were getting excited about seeing this season. And we saw none of that tonight.
So, but does Sato or Thad or Denzel fix this?
I don't know if they fix it, John. I think having them, it makes it not a 40-point game. And again, I think that's what I'm looking at. Is I don't think it makes it a
20-point game.
I don't think it makes a 40-point game. But yeah, it's
40
bad.
points.
It's still bad and it's still losing. Yeah, I'm not in disagreement with that at all. But I think it looks a little better. But you still look good losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still losing. So yeah.
Lakina, what's up, Lakina? Said, can we talk about Zach having 4 fouls in the first half? We did touch on that while we were watching the fourth quarter. I mean, that's rough. I thought maybe that Donovan would give him the hook after foul number 3 when there was, I think somewhere between 4 and 5 minutes left in the second quarter. And you're like, all right, we're just going to save you and try and survive. But clearly Donovan was like, no, we need Zach out there. Things are going poorly. So he was like, well, that's the risk that you take. Zach picks up a bad 4th foul. So he starts the second half with 4 fouls. He's got a 5th foul early mid-third quarter. And look, let me preface this by saying I in no way miss Chris Dunn. He was inactive for Atlanta tonight because, of course, he's not healthy. Shock of the season opener. Zach LaVine trying to guard Trae Young. Like we've given Zach some kudos here and there in those 4 preseason games, hustling back in transition, breaking up transition opportunities to get of opponents, getting his hands in some passing lanes. His effort has been better, but Zach is still just not a very good defender. And a guy like Trae Young cooked Zach and got him in early foul trouble, and it was a disaster for Zach's night.
But Zach can just cook him back. Cook him back. Do what you like. He doesn't have to be a good defender. He can do just score more points. Like, I think that's how you battle him. Like, get Trae Young. Trae Young isn't some all-world defender. He's shorter than all of us.
And that's honestly another problem. The Bulls did not take advantage of Trae Young and his defensive liabilities tonight.
Yeah, we got big guards-ish. Yeah. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Feast or Famine for thank you so much, guys. Truly, like that's.
Yes, appreciate y'all.
I love I'm a born again Christian, and I believe it is feast or famine. I believe that's real. I believe it's real.
It's Christmas Eve, you guys. It is the holiday season. It's the spirit of giving.
And that's what the Bulls did for the Hawks. They gave him this game and said, and also with you.
And also,
here is our frankincense. This game,
and with your spirit, I think is what they're
now
doing now.
Change it
because
because the church was like, let's change. That's what we need to change. Of all the things, that's it. But I do. Yes, you're right. I feel like I'm going to treat myself. You know how bad it was the first preseason game? I'm going to learn from that and say, this is the first game.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first game.
Yeah. And I think, you're right to say, yeah, it's Trae Young. He's going to have performances like that. You just need to match it. Ben, our buddy from just a minute ago in the chat said, Trae Young's an all-star. He did all-star shit. That's right. And if Zach had knocked down a few more from behind the arc, he would have been on matching Trae Young's offensive night in the early going. But because Zach was only getting his looks inside and not knocking down his three-point shot, which he was hitting at a remarkably efficient pace in those 4 preseason games, it's like he fell behind Trae offensively, and we also those glaringly noticeable weak spots for Zach defensively, and it was like, okay, one of these guys is an all-star and one of them
not that.
Did you guys
Go ahead.
Well, someone brought it's being brought up in the chat because I had this thought watching the game, and I was like, you know what we need? A point guard. You know who's going to be the number 1 pick next year? Cade Cunningham. You know what Chicago starts with? The letter C.
Oh Lord.
Did you think about Cade Cunningham at all during this game?
No.
Because I did. Because I did. I was like, okay.
But do we have to ask him to legally change his name to Chade Cunningham?
Oh my God, I love that.
Or Shade Cunningham from Chicago?
But wouldn't he be perfect? We need a point guard, right? I don't know.
Christian, too early to start a hashtag fade for Cade campaign.
For Cade? Oh, no. I love. Oh my God.
That's better than crash. That's better than crash for Cade.
Fade for Cade.
Work said at least the schedule sucks for the Bulls. This was Atlanta, one of the few teams the Bulls managed to beat last season. And from here, we've got a back-to-back Saturday, Sunday, Pacers and Warriors. Not maybe as intimidating because that Warriors team has taken some hits, and they just took a licking last night in one of those two, doubleheader
They have
opening.
the good Trae Young. They have Trae Young is the poor man's what Golden State has.
They have a better Trae Young, and then so that's the 3-game homestand to open the season, and then they play I think 10 of their next 13 on the road, and they were talking about it in the broadcast. Adam, Amin, and Stacy tonight at one point. 12 games in 21 days to start the season.
A lot of that NBA schedule is going to definitely be looking like as far as the days are concerned.
And it's mostly on the road. And it's mostly high caliber, playoffs last year kind of team.
So wait, you still sticking with the 0-12? Are you feeling the 0-12 now, John, Matt?
No, we'll win one.
I can't confidently tell you when the Bulls are going to get their first W. I can't.
They could win against the. I don't think the Pacers are that good.
Maybe the Pacers on Saturday.
Good. Yeah. Did they win tonight?
Everybody's talking about the Pacers just kind of having a falling out this year. And I think it's mostly just because there are rumors about Oladipo and him not being thrilled to be where he is.
And he's not that good.
Oh, here we
I don't
go.
know.
They're asking, hey, Matt, who was it? Ben says, who helped stop the Hawks last year?
No, it was Chris Dunn.
I will say this. I thought Chris Dunn was my least favorite basketball player to watch. Mm-hmm. And it is a combination of it is Chandler and Wendell. Mm-hmm. I cannot them together. I cannot watch both of them.
Dude,
but did you see that great bucket that little floater Hutch had in the paint when in the third quarter when the Bulls were down by 40?
So I did, and I go, that was good. And then I was like, that's his first that's his first basket. That was his first. When Wendell had those two turnovers for no reason in the first quarter, and he fell on the ground.
And he fell on the ground.
I was like,
he fell on the ground and turned it over.
I was like, did you bet money on the Hawks? Like, are you throwing and then Otto comes in and gets like 3 rebounds over him.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because Otto Porter's taller than our starting center.
Yeah.
He's an inch taller.
Yo.
He is 6'10".
Yo. Oh my God.
Like,
yeah, it's bad. Can I get to the good stuff?
Lauri,
yeah, get to the good stuff.
For the record, Lauri led the Bulls on the glass tonight with 7. Wendell had 6. Otto and Hutch each had 5.
Get to the Lauri. Lauri marketed.
God, okay. This has been pretty dark so far. Can we talk about that because it's been dark so far? Can we talk about the game Lauri had tonight? Coupled with his final preseason game, which certainly showed some more aggression and knocked down some threes. This game from Lauri tonight, again, 21 points on 6 of 9, 4 of 6 downtown, 5 of 5 at the stripe, 7 boards, 4 assists, and a steal. That, like, give me that from Lauri every night, and I will feel good about all of the hype I've put behind this kid for 3 years.
And it's I think the only thing that you want to improve is maybe rebounds and only 5 free throws. He should that should be
right. Got to get
double
line more.
minimum. You should be getting fouled. You should be just going towards the paint.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked how he played from the beginning, from the onset, how he came out with those first 2 threes that he hit from the corner, because there were no hesitation in the shots that he took. He as soon as he got it, it was gone. Like, he wasn't worried about it. And you could tell he wasn't thinking about it. He was just reacting and was just playing basketball.
Ooh.
And he was showing you everything, a little bit of everything that we think he has. He was showing you a little bit of all that. So after the threes came, then he came in with the second unit. He started going to the bucket more because he had more mismatches playing against that second unit. That's that little stuff that I've been looking for him to, that recognition. Because I remember when he was getting on my nerves these past couple years when he wouldn't go in the post against smaller opponents. Well, watching him do that tonight, I said, thank you. Yes, your eyes are open. You're looking at stuff. You're seeing it. That's what I want to see more of. And then the 3-point barrage that he went on, it was just exciting to see. What'd you say, man? He was 4 or 6 from the 3-point line? 4 or 6 was excellent work from him, man. And he tried to get involved passing. He tried to get involved on the pick and roll. But Wendell Carter Jr. has hands of stone, and he couldn't catch some of those. But Daniel Gafford has hands like a Spider-Man and was catching them and dunking them backwards. I want to see more of that. I just want to see more of that, but I just liked how he played his all-around game.
I agree. What is up with his hands?
Yeah, man. Dude, what is that?
Dude, I had people on Twitter throughout the night saying, like, hey, like, what is up with Wendell's hands? We've talked about it a million times, you guys. We need to recreate that scene from The Replacements, with Keanu and Gene Hackman, where there's that receiver who, shoot, I'm drawing a blank on the actor's name, Orlando something.
Jones.
Orlando Jones, right. And they like rub like that nasty ass super glue all over his hands because he's a receiver who keeps dropping the football. Can we just put a bunch of super glue on Wendell's hands? Giants,
when he catches the toilet paper, just have it do that. Catch the toilet paper. We don't know what our lineups are, I think, too. And it feels like Patrick Williams weirdly is going to be a starter. Yeah. Like it feels like I'm not too worried about him.
Ben said Wendell looked like me on the hot mic. I don't know what to do with my hands. Wendell doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Unbelievable.
From the beginning, guys, from the start, he looked like that. That's what's so infuriating. From the start, it wasn't like you came in and you got acclimated to the game and then you said, "Oh man, I just had a bad game tonight." No, you fell down when they gave you the basketball from the jump. And then you turned it over the next time you were around.
Held out.
And then you committed a foul. The next time, it was bad all game long. All game long.
Well, it's Christmas, guys. So if you could give a gift to one player on the Bulls, whether it's to give Wendell a brain or or exactly
or Lauri courage.
What would you give him for the holidays in the spirit of Christmas?
Oh man, I'm giving Wendell some hands. He needs hands, man. You need hands. He can't catch the ball. Like that's the number one thing. And ball is in the name of the game you play. You should be able to catch it.
It's too big. It's too big for his head.
Too big.
It's too big.
What about you, Matt?
So I think.
Can I give myself a gift instead of any of them? And can that gift be like, a bottle of bourbon and a
don't
shotgun?
You have that already?
Okay. I have one of those things.
He has the gun.
Right.
Texas has weird liquor laws. He can't get it down there. I would.
Everyone on this team needs to be better. It's impossible to pick one person to say if I can give the gift of this element of basketball to this player, then can I give Coby the gift of like supervision to make him a better point guard? No, because I'm pretty sure the superpowers aren't real.
But he could get LASIK. I would give Patrick Williams the gift of health. I want to protect him like he's Baby Yoda, and I don't want anything to happen to him.
Eli says Wendell in the hands because he wouldn't feel it.
That's true.
You're right. He wouldn't feel it.
I think he's pretty dense.
Not that Matt said I would give Billy Donovan a better team.
Yes. I mean, that poor guy.
Yeah. I was going to say I would give Billy Donovan patience if he needs it. I think he didn't take this job thinking that the Bulls were going to be like, in the hunt for the 6th or 7th seed. I think he knew with his interview with AK and Eversley that this was going to be a process, no Sixers pun intended, and that it wasn't going to be an easy one and it wasn't going to be a quick one. He wouldn't have taken the job if he didn't believe that there was something to work with here and that he wanted the job. But anyone who thought that Donovan was going to show up day one, 2 weeks of training camp without summer league for the rookie and the second-year guys, and just all of a sudden things would just be fixed like that? Like, no, this team was 20-something games under 500 last year. And, yes, we blamed a lot of that on the coach who's now gone. But talent matters. We don't have much. It's like Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer. It's like, I like money. I don't have much. I keep a jar of it above the fridge. I'd like to put more in that jar. That's where you come in.
Oh, man. Burke says, can we see this? He's talking about Lauri. He said, can we see this consistently? Lauri needs to be consistent before I give him my trust. The next game cannot be 11 points on 6 shots.
I agree.
Completely agree.
I do.
Yeah,
I think that's such a great way to look at it too. We're looking for you. You can do this. Will you do this?
Yes. You're right, John. Yeah.
I can't wait to. I'm like super pumped to see the Pacers to see if we can just lose by 15. Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
No.
I want this to not be a white elephant gift for Billy Donovan. I want it to be a gift he actually wants, and I don't want this team to be like, "Ha, we got you. We tricked you."
Guys, do you want to feel even better about Patrick Williams? You want to know what LaMelo Ball's stat line was tonight in his NBA debut? 0 points in 16 minutes. 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from downtown. He did have 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 fouls.
2 fouls?
Scoreless.
Yeah.
Scoreless. Pat Will, Rookie of the Year.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Ricky,
shut it down. Let's go home.
That's it.
Patrick Williams.
Let's
go.
Patrick already over.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Patrick L. Williams, Rookie of the Year.
Oh man. I'm sorry. I lost Burke's. Oh, there. Burke says Coby can't get away with how he played. He was horrendous tonight. Wendell was also bad, but if your point guard is that bad, you aren't going to win many games. You're 2 for 2 there. I mean, absolutely right, man. Like, your point guard is the quarterback. If your quarterback sucks, your team's not going to be good. Like, that's the rules. We know that as Bears fans. We know this. And that's the absolute correct assessment. He has got to be better, guys. And what I didn't like was he just didn't look like himself. It looked like he was trying to do what they kind of want him to do. And I don't mean Billy Donovan when I say that. I mean just when I say people, like people on the outside, like, man, you got to pass the ball more. You got to facilitate. You got to do this and hit these spots. He's good when he's just going in and he's just scoring. He's like, here's the basketball. Thank you. Let me hit you with this step back and run down the floor and talk my stuff and let my beautiful hair flap in the wind. That's when he's at his best. Now, he's cool, and that's where his facilitating kind of comes from, right? Of him scoring and him getting that confidence that way. I think he needs to do that and work his way into the facilitating that kind of way.
I love that. It makes complete sense. You know how when they say, like, for shooters, you need to get to the basket, and that frees you up, and you can shoot better. Mm-hmm. I think he needs to score, and that will free him up to be a better passer.
Yeah,
just get comfortable. You're a scorer. Passing is something you're trying to get better at. Don't start behind. Start ahead and just start scoring, and that will open up the game for you. Then people will be guarding you, and people will be open. I think we kind of have to almost do it like that, how we tell shooters to drive.
I like that.
Yeah. It's going to be a process for Coby this season trying to figure that out. Ben said Coby will not continuously have games like tonight. Yeah, I think you're not going to see Coby go 2 of 11 from the field, including 1 of 7 from downtown every night. He's going to have nights where he shoots better, but I think Dave, you hit on the head where you just said he just didn't look like himself tonight. I don't know if he got it into his own head a little bit, just like it's my first, it's my second season, first game of the season. I'm starting, and we've done him no favors, and I don't mean we us three.
I haven't done any favors,
but
I could be nicer.
Like we, the fan base and the media, hyping it up since things shut down in March, and we were like, all right, well, let's start talking about next season because we sure as shit ain't going to the bubble. And it was like Coby White this, Coby White that, because he was the only good thing left at the end of last season when we were all burnt out and ready to kill ourselves. And I think Coby, as much as he's a kid who wants to provide that enthusiasm and talent and optimism for this team, for its fan base, for the city, that's a lot to put on the mind of a 19, 20-year-old kid. And maybe tonight it was just a little too much for him.
I'm expecting him to bounce back from that because all this kind of reminds me of the first preseason game. And just the bounce back from Coby from that was spectacular, and it was much better. So I'm kind of expecting that from him. So, yeah, I can say that about him, but he's the one of the players I'm not really concerned about because I've seen him last year reach that point where he said, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to do this. And I expect him to reach that point earlier now because now he has a little more confidence and he has a coach that kind of believes in him in his game. So I'm expecting a good bounce back game from Coby White. To answer one of the questions earlier about what are we going to see from the next game, that's kind of what I want to see, or what I think I'm going to see from Coby White.
What I'm excited about.
I think
I was going to say we now have someone who's a coach that's going to problem solve. I know this. We're not going to roll out and try the same thing and just hope it works again.
Right.
And that is such a better feeling than we were last year. If we lost by 40, we'd be like, great, we're going to do the exact same thing. And it's nice to know, I bet we have someone who's going to be like, cool, what can I do better? And what can we do differently?
Yeah.
Because clearly that didn't work.
Right.
And maybe this will help Coby and help our young players, not just constantly be set up to fail.
Oh, man.
I think the part of the conversation when it comes to Coby that we're kind of ignoring and that I think a lot of the fan base doesn't want to face as a possible reality is what Patrick said. Patrick said Sada's the only playmaker. Coby is a shooting guard. He doesn't have the ability nor decision-making to run point guard. I feel like that is something that was said about Coby when he came out of the draft. That is something that I think a significant portion of the fan base felt and saw in his rookie year, even though they said start Coby, Zach and Coby backcourt is going to be exciting to watch and dangerous offensively. Coby is a shooting guard and a microwave scorer and not a floor general point guard is, I think, a talking point and a a form of reality that the fan base is just so excited about Coby that they are just looking past and ignoring. And I think tonight was a pretty good reminder that might
it is
actually
true. And I don't think people are ignoring it. I think it's true. But the difference is Coby White is a better shooting guard than Sato is a point guard. Mm-hmm. So you got to put your best on the floor. It doesn't matter. Your best players have to be on the floor, and that's how it has to be. Now if you want to move Zach to 3 and start other stuff there, that's fine. Like, you can do all those other things. But your best players have to be there. And that's why they wanted him to kind of learn that position, because they know he has to be on the floor. You know, it wasn't like they were like, oh, we're strapped at this position. We need you to learn that. It's no, you're the best. Like, you got to learn it because you have to be there at all times. Sato is going to be awesome, I think, coming off the bench. Like, he's going to provide that punch and that, calmness. And he can also do it in the fourth quarter. Even though him not starting, he can still find a way in that fourth quarter when we need, that sure-handedness, Matt, and we need that guy to, set everything up. He still can find a way into that game, you know what I'm saying, and provide that impact for this team, man. But yeah, Coby, he's got to start. You're right, though. He's not good at it. Like, he's not good. He's seen it. We've shown it. But you got to have him on the floor. He has to be on the floor.
TJ said, feel like Coby's too robotic, doesn't feel and adjust. He predetermines what he will do and goes for it instead of just reading the defense. I think that's what Coby looked like tonight. I think we saw glimpses in those preseason games of Coby reading the defense a little bit more and taking what they were giving him. And we were like getting a little ahead of ourselves with how excited we were. Yeah. It was preseason. Marlon, also, we were a horrible team with a horrible coach. Only played 5 games in 8 months. Yeah,
that's true.
It's true. It's going to take some time to knock off all of this rust and adjust to a new coach. All right, guys, as we wrap up here, final thoughts, anything else that you wanted to get to from tonight's game, or maybe something you're looking ahead to try and get a bounce-back win against the Pacers on Saturday? Because remember, that was really ugly, but the Bulls can get back to 500 just by winning on Saturday.
Wash it off of us. Wash this game off of us on the back.
Wash it off and on to the next. I think that's it. I'm excited to see the guys who didn't play tonight. I just want to see what they look like. I'm not saying they're going to be world beaters. I just want to see what it looks like when those guys, Garrett Temple, the Bulls legend, Denzel Valentine, and Satoransky get on the court. So I don't have to see Makoka and I don't have to see Arch come in and get these huge minutes.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of Denzel Valentine, I think we can safely say that on opening night, our pal Fred's prediction of the 7th seed this season already dead.
The Alex Jones
this is not
Bulls Twitter. Seed. I swear.
I was, guys, in my head, I had a bet going. What was going to be said first? Matt talk about Fred or John talk about the Mavs? And Matt,
congratulations,
you won.
I've been good, right? I've been really good.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah. There have even been people teasing the Mavs game in the thread, John, and you haven't been on it at all.
But I do think that Fred, who I love dearly, is so irresponsible with language that he will be sued and he will lose at some point because of something he said. That's something that you can't be sued about. Like that, the judge will be like, "You are irresponsible." Like you can't say that about the Bulls. You just can't. It's not real.
It's like. The 7th seed prediction every year is the side-by-side Alex Jones, where he's like, look, I tried this weight loss program, and it's just like he got into a tanning booth in the picture on the right, but he's still just
being like an MVP candidate is like saying Sandy Hook is actors. Like
oh my God.
He will say something that everyone will be like, oh man, no man, we gotta go to court over this. We gotta go to court over this. We have free speech, but we gotta go to court. Like,
nice.
Oh my God!
Oh wow! You know what? I think on that note, it's a good thing that we are not doing this show on MVP right now.
That's bad.
Oh, and people keep shouting out your gloves too, John. Everybody in the chat really is feeling your gloves.
And they're my new gloves.
They are.
I love.
They're very patriotic, which. Maybe is the thing that we can actually be in like less than a month. All right, guys, we're out of here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks to Evan and Ben who hopped on and joined the broadcast for a while.
Thank you.
Reminder to all of you, when we're back on Saturday, you can join the show with us for just a small donation to the three of us. We would very much appreciate it. Appreciate those of you who threw us some tip dollars tonight. The holiday season is here, and we hope that you are all safe and healthy. And enjoy Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We will be back Saturday for Bulls Pacers. We'll try again, and hopefully it will be better. Have a great night, everybody. For John Sabine, Dave Watson, I'm Matt Peck. Thanks for watching The Stretch 4 with the Bulls Outcasts. We'll see you next time.
Mama.
Peace.
Aww.